Blog Talk Radio.
Well, we are back. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to you and yours wherever you are on the World Wide Web. You are listening to Let's Talk, brought to you by the Men Empowered Organization on the Blog Talk Radio Network at blogtalkradio.com. My name is Maurice Heron, also known as Brother Malachi of the Men Empowered Organization. It is what is it? I'm forgetting everything. It is a June the 30th, 2013. And for those of you all who are living in the state of Mississippi, that crazy law is going into effect at 12 midnight. That's right. The good folks here in the state of Mississippi is going back to the cowboy days right at midnight. That's right. If you have not been following us or been listening to our commentaries, the state of Mississippi has passed this new gun law saying that you can wear your gun strapped to your persons out there as long as you have a permit. Now, what is the understanding to that? Why don't you hit me up at 347-205-9279? While you're thinking about that, we are going to get into the Book of Jasher. The Book of Jasher, chapter 29. We are going to try to go ahead and get through a few chapters. For those of you all who do not have your Book of Jasher, it can be found a reference to it in Joshua chapter 10, verse 13. But if you want to kind of follow along with us on this, you can go to your King James in Genesis. In King James in Genesis, starting at chapter 27, I believe. Yeah, and you will get the account of the Book of Jasher. Just a little bit. I want to let you know that Genesis is 50 chapters and the Book of Jasher is 90 chapters. So we got a long way to go. We're on chapter 29. We've been having a lot of difficulties here with our equipment. Hopefully after tonight that will cease. So we had some difficulties just a minute ago getting started. Wrong music didn't play right. So hopefully we'll get back on track. And if we get back on track this Sunday, we're going to go ahead and open back up on Tuesday crime scene investigation. Also, we're going to have Let's Talk on Wednesday as well, and Wednesday and Thursday. And on Monday, I believe we're going to do our commentaries on Monday. So after tonight, we'll look at it, and our board will make a decision whether or not we're going to go back to 4 nights a week, and hopefully we'll be able to do that. I also want to let you know that the Gathering of Christ Church is right here on Blog Talk Radio. You can check them out at GOCCHURCH, Gathering of Christ Church, or you can punch it into your search. I also want to remind you that the Hebrew Academy is underway. If you want more information to that, classes, I believe this is the second week of classes. So if you want to get in, hopefully before a couple of weeks, I think they're going to maybe let you slide in if you can get with them within a couple of weeks for registration. You can go ahead and get more information with them at gatheringas1, the number 1 at AOL.com. So the Men Empowered Organization is here to serve Israel, to serve the body of Christ, and to do the Most High's will. So we're out there promoting good works. And the Gathering of Christ Church, I can say that they are a great work that they're doing. And hopefully you find us to do good works here as well. So momentarily we will go ahead and get started with the Book of Jasher and chapter 29. And we'll be right back. For those of you all who are in the chat room, if you'd like to make a comment with us, just feel free to type that in. And for those of you all who are listening to us again on via phone, and for those of you all who are listening in the archives after we go away, I'd like for you to send all your questions and comments to Men Empowered to Prosper at yahoo.com. Shalom, this is Malachi, founder of the Men Empowered Organization. We are bringing you a new weekly commentary right here to the Pine Belt's original urban radio pioneer. Looking forward to sharing with you absolute knowledge and truth. Stay tuned for the day and time exclusively on the original Urban FM. And our Men in Power commentary is on WJMG FM 92.1 right here in the Hattiesburg and Laurel, Mississippi area. And you can hear that every Thursday at 9 a.m. right here on the Pine Belt's original Urban FM. Also, we will replay that commentary every Monday right here on the Men Empowered Radio Show. Okay, we're getting started right here with the Book of Jasher. We are in chapter 29. Similarities of chapter 29 can be found in Genesis chapter 27. So we are going to go ahead and see the accounts of Isaac, the son of Abraham. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And as the Most High brings me revelation, I hope he is bringing you revelation. One thing real quick I want to say before I go ahead and read the first verse. I was doing some reviewing of our shows that we have, and one show that I had featured is the interview that we did, our first interview that we did with Elder Ricashiar, and that is on our featured show on demand. It is featured on our website here at Blog Talk Radio. As I was listening to that show today for review, just getting streams of revelation from that, I also found out, as Brother Ricashiar was saying this, and we did this back in 2011. A couple of years has passed now, and looking at everything that has happened in the earth, some of the things that he has said has already come to pass. And if you have time, go back and check that out. We're going to feature that for probably the whole month, unless the Most High instruct me to take that down and put something else. But we're going to let you hear that, and I'll probably go ahead and mention that on most of our shows that we're going to go ahead and do. But as you can look in the news and see what's going on in the earth today, brought to you by what the brothers from GLCC said, the Talking Heads, you can see some of the things that he said in 2011 has already come to pass in 2013. And I'm just marvel at that. But you will hear it. But listen close. That was a long show that we did. I think it was close to about a little over 2 hours. And you definitely want to check that out. It is going to be our featured show that we're going to be doing all this month, unless I'm instructed to change that up. Okay, Jasher, chapter 29, verse 1. And Isaac, the son of Abraham, became old and advanced in days, and his eyes became heavy through age. They were dim and could not see. Verse 2. At that time Isaac called unto Esau his son, saying, Get, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver and thy bow. Rise up and go forth into the field, and get me some venison, and make me savor meat, and bring it to me, that I may eat, in order that I may bless thee before my death, as I have now become old and gray-headed. Verse 3, and Esau did so, and he took his weapon and went forth into the field to hunt for venison as usual, to bring to his father as he had ordered him, so that he might bless him. Now this is the same as you're reading in Genesis chapter 27. You all know the account. This is setting up for the blessing to be taken by Jacob. Jacob is pretending to be Esau when he goes in. So this is the setup, and this is the account right here in the book of Jasher, which is chapter 29, and we are at verse 4. And Rebecca knows what's going on, and she's maneuvering and getting things set up to where she knows that she wants her favorite in there. And we're going to find out why Jacob was the favorite. Why was he really supposed to be called by the Most High to take the blessing? You're going to find out what Esau did and what Jacob did do and what Esau didn't do that set him up for failure to not get the blessing by him to be the firstborn. Not by color, it's by what he did. And the Most High is the one that chose for Jacob to, because Esau's disobedience to the Most High's laws. And you're going to find that out as we read on. Verse 4, and Rebekah heard all the words that Isaac had spoken unto Esau, and she hastened and called her son Jacob, saying, Thus did thy father speak unto thy brother Esau, and thus did I hear now. Therefore hasten thou and make that which I shall tell thee. Verse 5, Rise up and go, I pray thee, to the flock, and fetch me 2 fine kids of the goats. And I will get the savoury meat for thy father, and thou shalt bring the savoury meat that he may eat before thy brother shall have come from the chase, in order that thy father may bless thee. Verse 6, and Jacob hastened and did as his mother had commanded him, and he made the savoury meat and brought it before his father, before Esau had come from his chase. Now, you know Esau is out in the field. You know he was a mighty hunter out there. Okay, so this is why Jacob really loved Esau, because he was the man out in the field. And you can see some of the favoritism that's going on in here. Verse 7, and Isaac said unto Jacob, Who art thou, my son? And he said, I am thy firstborn, Esau. I have done as thou didst order me. Now therefore rise up, I pray thee, and eat of my hunt, in order that thy soul may bless me as thou didst speak unto me. Verse 8, and Isaac rose up, and he ate, and he drank, and his heart was comforted, and he blessed Jacob, and Jacob went away from his father. And as soon as Isaac had blessed Jacob, and he had gone away from him, behold, Esau came from his hunt from the field, and he also made savoury meat and brought it to his father to eat thereof and to bless him. Verse 9, and Isaac said unto Esau, And who was he that has taken venison and brought it to me before thou camest, and whom I did bless? And Esau knew that his brother Jacob had done this, and the anger of Esau was kindled against his brother Jacob, that he had acted thus toward him. Verse 10, and Jacob said, Is he not rightly called Jacob or Yaakov? For he has supplanted me twice. He took away my birthright, and now he has taken away my blessing. And Esau wept greatly. I like to hear Elder Ricashiar in today's terms, the way we say it in the streets. He got me twice. Man, he got me again. Or it's like, man, he did it to me again? So, I love the way he bring it across. But Esau he knew that he was had by his brother on this, and he wept greatly. And when Isaac heard the voice of his son Esau weeping, Isaac said unto Esau, What can I do, my son? Thy brother Cain was subtlety, and took away thy blessing. And Esau hated his brother Jacob on account of the blessing that his father had given him, and his anger was greatly roused against him. Now, you know that people will say, Ooh, child, you act just like your daddy. Ooh, wee. Ooh, is that not? And people will say to me, man, you talk like your daddy. You talk slow like your daddy. You laugh like your daddy. You look like your daddy. You got a bald head now like your daddy, but your daddy had a little hair. But boy, you look like your daddy. And brothers and sisters, when my father has passed now, it's been over about 3 years now, and I can remember my dad when I used to give him a haircut, and my dad was like this. He couldn't see that well. He was kind of his eyes was kind of dim. He had cataract surgery and everything like that, but I can remember giving my dad a haircut, and looking at how my dad looks. I've got a picture of him on my Facebook page, MySpace, la-di-da, that sort of thing like that. But when I see myself in the mirror, when I go to the bathroom, wiping my face, trimming everything on my face, I said, man, I look just like my dad. Now, the reason why I brought this up is we have these attributes. And if we're the descendants of Jacob, we should have the similarities and attributes of Jacob. And we do. Now, look at the similarities and at the descendants of Esau. And for those of you all who are joining us, and if you do not know who Esau is, that is for you to find out, because I've already discussed that in other prior lessons. But the ones who know who Esau is, look at some of the things that is going on in the earth today. Look at Esau's children and see, do they act like their dad? See how they treat you, and you will see yourself in this story right here. You will see everything that you see, and you see in the earth today. You see everything that's going on with us, toward us. You can see Esau in his people. Okay, let that kind of sink in on that. All right, let me start back up here. Let me go on to 11. And Jacob was very much afraid of his brother Esau, and he rose up and fled to the house of Eber, the son of Shem, and he concealed himself there on account of his brother. And Jacob was 63 years old when he went forth from the land of Canaan from Eber. And Jacob was concealed in Eber's house 14 years on account of his brother Esau. And he dare continue to learn the ways of the Most High and his commandments. And when Esau saw that Jacob had fled and escaped from him, and that Jacob had cunningly obtained the blessing, then Esau grieved exceedingly, and he was also vexed at his father and mother. And he also rose up and took his wife and went away from his father and mother to the land of Seir, and he dwelt there. And Esau saw there a woman from among the daughters of Het, whose name was Bosmont, the daughter of Elo the Hittite, and he took her for a wife, in addition to his first wife. And Esau called her name Adah, saying, the blessing had in that time passed from him. Verse 13, and Esau dwelt in the land of Seir 6 months without seeing his father and mother. And afterward Esau took his wives and rose up and returned to the land of Canaan. And Esau placed his 2 wives in his father's house in Hebron. Verse 14, and the wives of Esau vexed and provoked Isaac and Rebekah with their works, for they walked not in the way. Now, get this. Now, if he was blessed by the Most High, if he was paying attention to what Jacob was paying attention to, he would be in the situation. But this is the reason why Esau did not receive the blessing, because of his ways, by shunning the commandments, shunning the ways of the Most High. He passed it on to his wives because it was outside of the camp, so to speak. He went outside that particular. As you will notice that Jacob married within the family, sort of say, as far as the cousins. But what did Esau did? He married not in that bloodline. He married outside his father's bloodline. So Jacob married within the bloodline. So you can see what's happening as we begin to read this further and further through, as well as what the few verses that we just read. Verse 14, and the wives of Esau vexed and provoked Isaac and Rebekah with their works, for they walked not in the ways of the Most High, but served their fathers' gods of wood and stone, as their father had taught them, and they were more wicked than their father. Now you see that. You see. Now this is why we're not to be unequally yoked. And that's what happened to Esau. Verse 15, and they went according to the evil desires of their heart, and they sacrificed and burned incense to the Baalim, and Isaac and Rebekah became weary of them. Verse 16, and Rebekah said, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Het. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Het, such as these which are of the daughters of the land, what good then is life unto me? She's thinking, what if her son decides to go and marry outside the bloodline and start taking on these strange gods? The Most High forbid, but that didn't happen to Jacob. Verse 17, and in those days Adah, the wife of Esau, conceived and bare him a son. And Esau called the name of the son that was born unto him Ephaz. And Esau was 65 years old when she bare him. Verse 18, and Ishmael, the son of Abraham, died in those days, in the 64th year of the life of Jacob. And all the days of Ishmael lived were 137 years, and he died. Verse 19, and when Isaac heard that Ishmael was dead, he mourned for him. And Isaac lamented over him many days. Now, you know who Ishmael is. Ishmael is the brother of Isaac. Let me make sure I get this right now. Now, you know, on my webpage, you can see the genealogy account on one of the pictures that one of the charts that we put on there. it kind of flashes on and off, but you'll see where the chart tells you where Ishmael was from, his mom, where that line goes down and everything like that. Now, even though Ishmael wanted the blessing, but he knew about it, and the book of Jasher does do a marvelous way of explaining what happened when they went up there to the mountain. Remember when Isaac was supposed to be sacrificed, but his Abraham's hand was stopped from sacrificing Isaac on that, and Ishmael, in my vocabulary, he said, "Oh, rats! Here come Isaac. Oh, he didn't get sacrificed," because he thought he was going to get the blessing. You got to check that out. It's just all good. Okay, verse 19, moving on. And when Isaac heard that Ishmael was dead, he mourned for him, and Isaac lamented over him many days. Verse 20, and at the end of 14 years of Jacob's residing in the house of Eber, Jacob desired to see his father and mother. And Jacob came to the house of his father and mother to Hebron. And Esau had in those days forgotten what Jacob had done to him in having taken the blessing from him in those days. Verse 21, and when Esau saw Jacob coming to his father and mother, he remembered what Jacob had done to him, and he was greatly incensed against him, and he sought to slay him. Verse 22, and Isaac, the son of Abraham, was old and advanced in days. Isaac still kicking. Advanced in days. After all of this, he's still kicking. And Esau said, now my father's time is drawing now that he must die. And when he shall die, I will slay my brother Jacob. Verse 23, and this was told to Rebekah, and she hastened and sent and called for Jacob her son, and she said unto him, arise, go and flee to Haran to my brother Laban, and remain there for some time, until thy brother's anger be turned from thee, and then shalt thou come back. Gotta keep it off. Like, say for instance, if husband and wife is, I used to deal with anger a lot. If you're married and if you got a lot of anger, and if you and your wife are just not getting back, and she don't see your side, your point, that sort of thing like that, and she started raving and ramping, I hope you don't have a marriage like that. But if you do, where your wife is throwing some things and you feel that the anger is up in you, and you want to hit something and get that strength out of you to release it, my advice to you is just to leave the house for a while. Just like the mom said for Jacob to go so Esau can calm down. All right. My advice to married couples is that if there's any kind of anger like that, and I've been in this situation, I used to break a lot of things around the house. Me and my wife been married 24 years. And that's one thing that I used to deal with, including with my parents. But the Most High took all that out of me. Thank him for that. And so, the thing that you do, if you feel that anger is built up inside to where you think you might have to hurt somebody, it is best for you to leave so you can calm that anger down and let it flow out of you. In the meantime, still work on getting delivered from that. What I found out is through fasting and praying, as well as good music, will kind of soothe this and get this out of your system on that. So that's my advice for you on that. Verse 24, kind of sidetracked a little bit on that. I just had to share that with somebody. And Isaac called unto Jacob and said unto him, take not, and here's Isaac saying to Jacob, called unto Jacob and said unto him, take not a wife from the daughters of Canaan, for thus did our father Abraham command us according to the word of the Most High, which he had commanded him, saying, unto thy seed will I give this land, if thy children keep my covenant that I have made with thee. Then will I also perform to thy children that which I have spoken unto thee, and I will not forsake thee. Now, no matter how fine the sister is, you know you're not supposed to marry that woman. If she's bringing you down from the Most High's commandments, she is not for you. If this brother is not doing the things that the Most High is doing, sister, he is not for you. I don't know why I'm moving in that area. Okay, all right. Verse 25. Now, therefore, my son, hearken to my voice. Hearken. Let me go back to 24 again. And Isaac called unto Jacob and said unto him, take not a wife from the daughters of Canaan, for thus did our father Abraham command us according to the word of the Most High, which he had commanded him, saying, unto thy seed will I give this land, if thy children keep my covenant that I have made with thee. Then will I also perform to thy children that which I have spoken unto thee, and I will not forsake them. Verse 25. Now therefore, my son, hearken to my voice, to all that I shall command thee, and refrain from taking a wife from among the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Haran, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take unto thee a wife from there, from the daughters of Laban, my mother's brother. Now, here Isaac is giving Jacob instructions to go and to check out his superfine cousin. Yes, I said cousin. And you know, I was listening to another Israelite, and they did a wonderful job on explaining this. And you know, in this country here, they saying that genetics has to do some things as far as you marrying your cousin, you know, and that sort of thing like that. But if you look back in Leviticus, and we don't have time to do that on this thing because it requires much study on that. But I'm going to post that teaching that this other Israelite camp did on marriage, defiled marriage. I mean, it is great. I got to, you know, applaud these brothers. They did a real good job on that. They weren't GOCC, but this Israelite camp here did a wonderful job. I looked at the scriptures on that today as studying, and I said, oh, man, this is good. And I got to let them know that was tight. Verse 26, therefore, take heed lest thou shouldst forget the Most High thy God and all his ways in the land to which thou goest, and should get connected with the people of the land, and pursue vanity, and forsake the Most High thy God. Verse 27, but when thou comest to the land, serve there the Most High. Do not turn the right or to the left from the way which I command thee, and which thou didst learn. Verse 28, and may the Almighty Most High God grant thee favor in thy sight of the people of the earth, that thou mayest take there a wife according to thy choice, one who is good and upright in the ways of the Most High. Why are we on marriage right now? You got to find a woman. I don't care what her curves look like. If she ain't walking in the ways of the Most High, brother, she ain't for you. Sister, I don't care how buff this guy is. If he ain't walking in the ways of the Most High, sister, just don't do it. Don't look at those pecs that you keep thinking about and desiring about, because you are going to have heartache. You are going to have heartache for being unequally yoked. Verse 29, and may the Most High give unto thee and thy seed the blessings of thy father Abraham, and make thee fruitful and multiply thee, and mayest thou become a multitude of people in the land whither thou goest, and may the Most High cause thee to return to this land, the land of thy father's dwelling, with children and with great riches, with joy and with pleasure. Verse 30, and you all know, Isaac was telling Jacob all of this, and you all know the story. Out came the 12 brothers of the 12 sons of Jacob, who Jacob's name was changed to Israel. And also, I must not forget about Diana, because they did mention Diana in this other Hebrew camp on the lesson that I was studying that particular day. All right, verse 30. And Isaac finished commanding Jacob and blessing him, and he gave him many gifts. Ooh, giving him many gifts. Ooh, somebody finna get jealous. And Isaac finished commanding Jacob and blessing him. Blessing him more? He already blessed him. Now he's blessing him again? And Isaac finished commanding Jacob and blessing him, and he gave him many gifts together with silver and gold, and he sent him away. And Jacob hearkened to his father and mother. Obey your parents in the Lord. He kissed them and arose and went to Padan Aram. Y'all excuse me with these names here. All right. And Jacob was 77 years old when he went out from the land of Canaan from Beersheba. Man, that's a long time to be single compared to the days we living in now. Verse 31. Somebody going to write me on that. I know it. I know they're going to write me on that. All right, verse 31. And when Jacob went away to go to Haran, Esau called unto his son Eliphaz, and secretly spoke unto him, saying, Now hasten, take thy sword in thy hand, and pursue Jacob, and pass before him in the road, and lurk for him, and slay him with thy sword in one of the mountains, and take all belonging to him, and come back. Verse 32. Now, you see, Esau is passing this attribute down to his descendants, all his kids. They know what they father do. You see all this here now? Verse 32. And Eliphaz, the son of Esau, was an active man and expert with the bow, as his father had taught him. And he was a noted hunter in the field and a valiant man. Verse 33. And Eliphaz did as his father had commanded him. And Eliphaz was at that time 13 years old. And Eliphaz rose up and went and took 10 of his mother's brothers with him and pursued Jacob. Verse 34. And he closely followed Jacob, and he lurked for him in the border of the land of Canaan, opposite to the city of Shechem. Verse 35. And Jacob saw Eliphaz and his men pursuing him. And Jacob stood still in the place in which he was going, in order to know what this was. For he did not know the thing. And Eliphaz drew his sword, and he went on advancing, he and his men toward Jacob. And Jacob said unto them, What is to do with you that you have come hither? And what meant it that you pursued with your swords? Jacob is talking to his nephew. Kind of reminded me of a small city here in Mississippi when one of our civil rights workers back in the 60s and 50s was surrounded by a group of fellows of the Caucasian persuasion. Just want to kind of bring that up. You know, what is 7 dudes going to do with one man? Why you got to be in a group to show how strong you are? That's just a little sidebar right there. Kind of remind me of this little town here in Mississippi. Verse 36. And Eliphaz came near to Jacob, and he answered and said, oh yeah, reminds me of right here in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, when Vernon Damer was surrounded by the Klan. The Klan found out that Vernon Damer was registering the people of Forest County to vote, and they didn't like that, and so they surrounded him. Vernon Damer got his family out of the house, but he suffered burns and everything. I'm going to have the Damer family on here, and we're going to tell their story here on the Men Empowered organization. Just kind of a little sidebar of Black Hebrew history right here in the state of Mississippi. We're going to do that one of these days quickly. And Eliphaz came near to Jacob, and he answered and said unto him, Thus did my father command me, and now therefore I will not deviate from the orders which my father gave me. And when Jacob saw that Esau had spoken to Eliphaz to employ force, Jacob then approached and supplicated Eliphaz and his men, saying to him, verse 37, Behold, all that I have, and which my father and mother gave unto me, that take unto thee, and go from me, and do not slay me, and may this thing be accounted unto thee a righteous thing. Verse 38, and the Most High caused Jacob to find favor in the sight of Eliphaz and the son of Esau and his men, and they hearkened to the voice of Jacob, and they did not put him to death. And Eliphaz and his men took all belonging to Jacob together with the silver and gold that he had brought with him from Beersheba. They left him nothing. Verse 39, and Eliphaz and his men went away from him, and they returned to Esau to Beersheba, and they told him all that had occurred to them with Jacob, and they gave him all that they had taken from Jacob. Verse 40, and Esau was indigent at Eliphaz's son and at his men that they were with him, because they had not put Jacob to death. Verse 41, and they answered and said unto Esau, Because Jacob supplicated us in this matter not to slay him, our pity was excited toward him, and he took all belonging to him and brought it unto thee. And Esau took all the silver and gold which Eliphaz had taken from Jacob, and he put them by in his house. Verse 42. At that time, when Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and had commanded him, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife from among the daughters of Canaan. Let me read that again. At that time, when Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and had commanded him, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife from among the daughters of Canaan, and that the daughters of Canaan were bad in the sight of Isaac and Rebekah. Verse 43, Then he went to the house of Ishmael, his uncle, and in addition to his older wives, he took Malach, the daughter of Ishmael, the sister of Nebion, for a wife. Okay, this is the end of chapter 29, and we're moving into chapter 30. And we are back to start chapter 30 right here on this Sunday, the last day of June 2013. Just want to let you know, for you folks who are in Mississippi, you have 2 hours away. Yep, 2 hours, less than 2 hours away from the new law that is getting ready to pass, which will be official. Y'all be careful out there. We see the underlining and the understanding what this new gun law is all about. But do not be fooled by the enemy trying to say that for our protection, your protection. Why are we, I don't want to go sidetrack because I can go. Why are we putting guns in the hands of people to where it can be seen? What is the understanding to that? Did we not see the things that went on in Newcastle? So why are we doing these things going on here? Okay, I'm going to leave that alone. Jasher chapter 30, verse 1. And Jacob went forth, continuing his road to Haran. And he came as far as Mount Moriah, and he tarried there all night near the city of Luz. And the Most High appeared there unto Jacob on that night. And he said unto him, I am the Lord God of Abraham and the God of Isaac thy father. The land on which thou liest I will give unto thee and thy seed. Verse 2, And behold, I am with thee, and will keep thee wherever thou goest, and I will multiply thy seed as the stars of heaven. And I will cause all thy enemies to fall before thee. And when they shall make war with thee, they shall not prevail over thee. And I will bring thee again unto this land with joy, with children, and with great riches. Verse 3, And Jacob awoke from his sleep, and he rejoiced greatly at the vision which he had seen. And he called the name of that place Bethel. Verse 4, And Jacob rose up from that place, quite rejoiced. And when he walked, his feet felt light to him for joy. And he went from there to the land of the children of the east. And he returned to Haran, and he sat by his shepherd's well. Verse 5, And he there found some men going from Haran to feed their flocks. And Jacob made inquiries of them, and they said, We are from Haran. Verse 6, And he said unto them, Do you know Laban, the son of Nahor? And they said, We know him, and behold, his daughter Rachel is coming along to feed his father's flock. Verse 7, Whilst he was yet speaking with them, Rachel, the daughter of Laban, came to feed her father's sheep, for she was a shepherdess. Verse 8, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, he ran and kissed her, and lifted up his voice and wept. Verse 9, and Jacob told Rachel that he was the son of Rebekah, her father's sister. And Rachel ran and told her father, and Jacob continued to cry because he had nothing with him to bring to the house of Laban. Verse 10, and when Laban heard that his sister's son Jacob had come, he ran and kissed him and embraced him and brought him into the house and gave him bread, and he ate. Verse 11, and Jacob related to Laban what his brother Esau had done to him, and what his son Eliphaz had done to him in the road. Verse 12, and Jacob resided in Laban's house for 1 month, and Jacob ate and drank in the house of Laban. And afterward Laban said unto Jacob, tell me, what shall buy thy wages, for how canst thou serve me for naught? Verse 13, and Laban had no son, but only daughters, and his other wives and handmaidens were still barren in those days. And these are the names of Laban's daughters, which his wife Adina had born unto him. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. And Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored, and Jacob loved her. Yeah, she was a fox, all right. She was super bad. All right, Maurice, stay on point. Stay on point. As you know, that let me look at the chart. If you're looking at the chart, you know who Rachel had fathered. Rachel, which was the favorite wife, Rachel fathered Joseph and Benjamin, Benjamin being the youngest. All right. Now, you know that Jacob had concubines as well as another wife. The first one was Leah. And Leah birthed, let's see here, let me get this right. Leah had birthed, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, that's right. Leah, I'm looking at the chart, had birthed Diana, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Issachar, Zebulun, and Judah, the Lion of Judah. That's right. That's where most of the tribes came from. Now, also Leah, Zilpah, was Leah's concubine that was given to Jacob or Israel, which was Gad and Asher. Okay. And from Belial, it was, let's see if I got this right, Dan and Naphtali. That's where the children of Israel came from, or the children of Jacob, where they came from. Okay, let's see here. Let's see, where was I? Yep. Well, let me just start back real quick at verse 13. And Laban had no sons, but only daughters, and his other wives and handmaidens were still barren in those days. And these are the names of Laban's daughters, which his wife Dinah had born unto him. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. And Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was the beautiful and well-favored, and Jacob loved her. Verse 14, and Jacob said unto Leah, I will serve, not Leah, Jacob said unto Laban, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. And Laban consented to this, and Jacob served Laban 7 years for his daughter Rachel. Verse 15, and in the 2nd year of Jacob's dwelling in Haran, that is in the 79th year of the life of Jacob, in that year died Eber, the son of Shem. He was 464 years old at his death. Verse 16, and when Jacob heard that Eber was dead, he grieved exceedingly, and he lamented and mourned over him many days. Verse 17, and in the 3rd year of Jacob's dwelling in Haran, Bosmath, the daughter of Ishmael, the wife of Esau, bare unto him a son, and Esau called his name Reuel. Verse 18, and in the 4th year of Jacob's residency in the house of Laban, the Lord visited Laban and remembered him on account of Jacob. And sons were born unto him, and his firstborn was Beor. His second was Alip, and the third was Chorash. Verse 19, and the Lord gave Laban riches and honor, sons and daughters, and the man increased greatly on account of Jacob. I will bless those that bless you. I will curse those that curse you. Verse 20, and Jacob in those days served Laban in all manner of work, in the house and in the field. And the blessing of the Most High was in all that belonged to Laban in the house and in the field. Verse 21, and in the 5th year died Juhah, the daughter of Beer, the wife of Esau, in the land of Canaan, and she had no sons but daughters only. Verse 22, and these are the names of the daughters which she bare to Esau. The name of the elder was Marzit, and the name of the younger was Puit. The best I can do, y'all, the best I can do. Verse 23, and when Juliet had died, Esau rose up and went to Seir to hunt in the field as usual, and Esau dwelt in the land of Seir for a long time. Verse 24, and in the 6th year Esau took for a wife, in addition to his other wives, Ahimaaz, the daughter of Zebon the Hittite. And you notice that this is coming from Cain's lineage. And Esau brought her to the land of Canaan. Verse 25. And Alimot conceived and bare unto Esau 3 sons, Yesh, Yalan, and Korah. Verse 26. And in those days in the land of Canaan, there was a quarrel between the herdsmen of Esau and the herdsmen of the inhabitants of the land of Canaan. For Esau's cattle and goods were too abundant for him to remain in the land of Canaan, in his father's house. And the land of Canaan could not bear him on account of his cattle. And when Esau saw that his quarreling increased with the inhabitants of the land of Canaan, he rose up and took his wives and sons and his daughters and all the belongings to him and the cattle which he possessed and all his property that he had acquired in the land of Canaan, and he went away from the inhabitants of the land to the land of Seir. And Esau and all belonging to him dwelt in the land of Seir. Verse 28, but from time to time Esau would go and see his father and mother in the land of Canaan. And Esau intermarried with the Horites, and he gave his daughters to the son of Seir, the Horites. Verse 29. And he gave his eldest daughter Marzah to Anna, the son of Zebulun, his wife's brother, and Put he gave to Azar, the son of Behar, the Horite. And Esau dwelt in the mountains. Here we go. And Esau dwelt in the mountains, he and his children, and they were fruitful and multiplied. Here we go with the cave dwellers in the mountains. The Caucasus, remember when we talked about that maybe down the road, the Caucasus Mountains? Now let's go to verse 30. By the way, I just want to let you know that we are on YouTube. We have some fabulous illustrations by my brother JEWEDuP. Been a good brother of mine. He's been taking all of our broadcasts and putting illustrations to them on YouTube. So not only do we have people listening to our broadcast here on Blog Talk Radio, we have a worldwide audience that is listening to our broadcast on YouTube, brought to you by my brother JEWEDuP. So if you subscribe to JEWEDuP, you will see all of our broadcasts on the Book of Jasher, as well as other things that we've had on that. It is right there on YouTube. So you go to JEWEDuP, JEWUP. All the Men Empowered Organizations broadcasts are on YouTube. And we've been seeing the counts on that. There's been over 5,000 minimum people listening to the broadcast and getting knowledge and understanding of the broadcast, brought to you by the Men Empowered Organization, which is not just me. Even though I am the spokesman of Men Empowered, it is not just me. This is an organization. Never was about me. Never will be about me. It is all about the Most High. Always will, always have, and always will be about the Most High and his son Yeshua, right here on Blog Talk Radio. We're not here to promote my agenda. If I had my agenda, oh man, it would be all messed up. But it is all about the Most High. Chapter 31 of the Book of Jasher. We've got close to about maybe a little over 30 minutes left right here. We're going to see how far we can go. And we probably may do another 2 hours next Sunday and go with it because, hey, we've been missing the Book of Jasher, and we're going to see what we can do. And after today, we will review our broadcast and see how much of technical improvements we really need, or is it ready, and we're going to go full stream with this. Jasher chapter 31. Verse 1, and in the 7th year, Jacob's service which he served Laban was complete. And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for the days of my service are fulfilled. And Laban did so. And Laban and Jacob assembled all the people of that place, and they made a feast. Verse 2, and in the evening Laban came to the house, and afterward Jacob came there with the people of the feast, and Laban extinguished all the lights that were there in the house. Let me ask you all one thing. Let me ask you this question. Do you see in here where there is a marriage license? Who said that they or we have to go get a marriage license? Now, is this the Most High's will, or is this the pagan's world's will? Think on that a little bit. Okay, verse 3 of chapter 31. And Jacob said unto Laban, Wherefore dost thou do this thing unto us? And Laban answered, Such is our custom to act in this land. And afterward Laban took his daughter Leah, and he brought her to Jacob. And he came to her, and Jacob did not know that she was Leah. Oh, man. You in the dark? Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Let me read that again, brother. Verse 4. And afterward, Laban took his daughter Leah and brought her, I'm going to make sure this is right. And he brought her to Jacob. Don't want y'all to get any ideas about this same sex thing. That's why I had to correct myself. And he brought her to Jacob. And he came to her, and Jacob did not know that she was Leah. Now, the reason why I'm slowing my roll down on this, the girl or the woman must have had a body just like Rebecca, because he didn't even know that was Leah. He thought he was getting Rebecca, but he thought wrong, and he got Leah. He did not know that was Rebecca. So what are you doing in the dark? Are you making some kind of noise, Father Jacob? You know, just want to kind of go a little sidebar right there. Why you didn't know that this was Leah? I mean, you've been around both of them. You've seen them, but, you know, you didn't know who that was in the dark. Let me go ask Ray Charles, do he know the women if he's in the dark? I'm just kind of thinking and just kind of having a little fun with y'all. Okay, Brother Ray, we know you gone. Okay. All right. Verse 5, and Laban gave his daughters Leah, his maid, Zilpah, for a handmaid. Verse 6, and all the people at the feast knew what Laban had done to Jacob, but they did not tell the thing to Jacob. Wow, Jacob, you got shysted. You got shysted just like you did your brother, you know, sowing and reaping, all that type of stuff. But we won't go into that. All right. Verse 7. And all the neighbors came that night to Jacob's house, and they ate and drank and rejoiced, and played before Leah up on timbrings and with dance. And they responded before Jacob, Haley, Haley. Okay, I don't have the understanding. If someone knows the understanding, you can chime in and give me and the audience the understanding to that. Verse 8, and Jacob heard their words, but did not understand their meaning, but he thought such might be their custom in this land. Verse 9, and the neighbors spoke these words before Jacob during the night, and all the lights that were in the house Laban had that night extinguished. Verse 10, and in the morning when daylight appeared, Jacob turned to his wife, and he saw, and behold, it was Leah that had been laying in his bosom. And Jacob said, behold, now I know what the neighbors said last night. All right, let's see. Hey, Lee, they said, and I knew it not. Verse 11, and Jacob called unto Laban and said unto him, what is this that thou didst unto me? Surely I served thee for Rachel, and why didst thou deceive me and didst give me Leah? And Laban answered Jacob, saying, not so is it done in our place to give the younger before the elder now. Therefore, if thou desire to take her sister likewise, take her unto thee for the service which thou wilt serve me for another 7 years. Verse 13, Rachel for a wife, and he served Laban 7 years more. And Jacob also came to Rachel, and he loved Rachel more than Leah. And Laban gave her his maid Bilhah for a handmaid. Wow, all these handmaids around here. Verse 14. And when the Most High saw that Leah was hated, the Most High opened her womb, and she conceived and bare Jacob 4 sons in those days. And these are the names, verse 15, and these are the names: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. All right, my daddy. And she afterward left bearing. Verse 16. And at that time Rachel was barren, and she had no offspring, and Rachel envied her sister Leah. And when Rachel saw that she bare no children to Jacob, she took her handmaiden Bilhah, and she bare Jacob 2 sons, Dan and Naphtali. Verse 17. And when Leah saw that she had, let's turn into a competition here. And when Leah saw that she had left barren, she also took her handmaiden Zilpah, and she gave her to Jacob for a wife. Did you see that? And when Leah saw that she had left barren, she also took her handmaiden Zilpah, and she gave her to Jacob for a wife. One more time. And when Leah saw that she had left bearing, she also took her handmaiden Zilpah, and she gave her to Jacob for a wife. And Jacob also came to Zilpah, and she also bare Jacob 2 sons, Gad and Asher. Busy, busy brother. All right. Verse 18. And Leah again conceived and bare Jacob in those days 2 sons and 1 daughter. And these are the names. Here we go. Issachar, the Mexicans. Zebulun, the Colombians, I believe. And their sister Diana. Verse 19. And Rachel was still barren in those days. And Rachel prayed unto the Most High at that time. And she said, O Lord, the Most High, remember me and visit me, I beseech thee, for now my husband will cast me off, for I have borne him no children. Verse 20. Now, O Most High God, hear my supplications before thee, and see my affliction, and give me children like one of the handmaidens, that I may no more bear me my reproach. And the Most High heard her, and opened her womb, and Rachel conceived and bare a son. And she said, the Most High had taken away my reproach. And she called his name Joseph, saying, May the Most High add to me another son. And Jacob was 91 years old when she bare him. Verse 22. At that time, Jacob's mother, Rebekah, sent her nurse, Deborah, the daughter of Urs, and 2 of Isaac's servants unto Jacob. All right, read that again. At that time, Jacob's mother, Rebekah, sent her nurse, Deborah, the daughter of Urs, and the 2 of Isaac's servants unto Jacob. Okay. Verse 23. And they came to Jacob to Haran, and they said unto him, Rebekah has sent us to thee, that thou shalt return to thy father's house, to the land of Canaan. And Jacob hearkened unto them in this which his mother had spoken. I was going to say something, but I'm not. All right. Verse 24. Well, I was going to say mama's boy. Okay. All right. Verse 24. At that time, you see all this. There's nothing new under the sun. The same thing going on in families is the same thing that happened way back then. Verse 24. At that time, the other 7 years which Jacob served Laban for Rachel were complete. And at the end of the 14 years that he had dwelt in Haran, that Jacob said unto Laban, Give me my wives and send me away, that I may go to my land. For behold, my mother did send unto me from the land of at Canaan, that I should return to my father's house. And Laban said unto him, Not so, I pray thee. If I have found favor in thy sight, do not leave me. Appoint me thy wages, and I will give them, and remain with me. Verse 26. And Jacob said unto him, This is what thou shalt give me for my wages, that I shall this day pass through all my flocks, and take away from them every lamb that is speckled and spotted, and such as are brown amongst thy sheep, and amongst the goats. And if thou wilt do this thing for me, I will return and feed thy flock and keep them as at first. And Laban did so, and Laban removed from his flock all that Jacob had said, and gave them to him. And Jacob placed all he had removed from Laban's flock in the lands of his sons, and Jacob was feeding the remainder of Laban's flock. Verse 29. Verse 29, we've got just a few minutes left, about 25 minutes left. If you want to make a comment, the number to call is 347-205-9279. Press 1 on your phone, and we will plug you into our lesson tonight. Verse 29, And when the servants of Isaac, which he had sent unto Jacob, saw that Jacob would not then return with them to the land of Canaan to his father, they then went away from him, and they returned home to the land of Canaan. Verse 30, And Deborah remained with Jacob in Haran, and she did not return with the servants of Isaac to the land of Canaan, and Deborah resided with Jacob's wives and children in Haran. Verse 31, And Jacob served Laban 6 years longer, and when the sheep brought forth, Jacob removed from them such as were speckled and spotted, as he had determined with Laban, and Jacob did so as at Laban's for 6 years. And the man increased abundantly, and he had cattle and maidservants and men servants, camels and asses. Verse 32, And Jacob had 200 drove of cattle, and his cattle were of large size and of beautiful appearance, and were very productive. And all the families of the son of men desired to get some of the cattle of Jacob, but they were exceedingly prosperous. Verse 33, And many of the sons of men came to procure some of Jacob's flock, and Jacob gave them a sheep for a manservant and a maidservant, or for an ass or a camel, or whatever Jacob desired from them, they gave him. Verse 34, And Jacob obtained riches and honor and possessions by means of which of these transactions with the sons of men, and the children of Laban envy him of this honor. Verse 35, And in the course of time he heard the words of Laban's son, saying, Jacob has taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father's had he acquired all this glory. Verse 36, And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban's and all of his children, and behold, it was not toward him in those days as it had been before. Verse 37, And the Most High appeared to Jacob at the expiration of the 6 years and said unto him, Arise, go forth out of this land, and return to the land of thy birthplace, and I will be with thee. Verse 38, and Jacob rose up at that time and mounted his children and wives and all the belongings to him upon the camels, and he went forth to go to the land of Canaan to his father Isaac. Verse 39. Verse 39. We are going to try to finish. Let's see. Now, this is going to be a long chapter. Let's see what we can do here. We're going to try to finish 31. We're going to try. I said we're going to try. This is a lot of reading, but I'm getting a lot of revelation on the on that hand as well. All right, and if we go over, and if the Most High willing, if I'm strong enough, we'll probably go into overtime and finish this particular chapter. So bear with me just a few minutes more, brothers and sisters. All right, 39. And Laban did not know that Jacob had gone from him, and Laban had been that day sheep shearing. Oh, he's out sheep shearing. Verse 40. And Rachel stole her father's image, and she took them, and she conceived them upon the camel upon which she sat, and she went on. Verse 41. And this is the manner of the images, in taking a man who is the firstborn and slaying him, and taking the hair off his head, and taking salt and salting the head and anointing it in oil. Then taking a small tablet of copper or a tablet of gold, and writing the name upon it, and placing the tablet under his tongue, and taking his head with the tablet under the tongue, and putting it in the house, and lighting up lights before it, and bowing down to it. Verse 42. And at that time when they bowed down to it, it speaketh to them in all matters that they asked of it, through the powers of the name which it is written in it. Verse 43. And some make them in the figures of men of gold and silver, and go to them in times known to them, and in the figures receive the influence of the stars, and tell them future things. And in this manner were the images which Rachel stole from her father. Verse 42. And Rachel stole the images which were her father's, in order that Laban might not know through them where Jacob had gone. Okay, that was the reason why she took that. Verse 45. And Laban came home, and he asked concerning Jacob and his household. And he was not to be found. And Laban sought his image to know where Jacob had gone, and could not find them. And he went to some other images, and he inquired of them, and they told him that Jacob had fled from him to his fathers, to the land of Canaan. And Laban then rose up, and he took his brothers and all of his servants, and he went forth and pursued Jacob, and he overtook him in Mount Gilead. Verse 47. And Laban said unto Jacob, What is this thou hast done to me, to flee and deceive me, and lead my daughters and their children as captives, taken by the sword? Verse 48. And thou didst not suffer me to kiss them, and send them away with joy, and thou didst steal my gods, and didst go away. Verse 49. And Jacob answered Laban, saying, Because I was afraid lest thou wouldst take thy daughters by force from me, and now with whomsoever thou findest thy gods, he shall die. Verse 50. And Laban searched for his image, and he examined in all Jacob's tents and furniture, but could not find them. Verse 51. And Laban said unto Jacob, we will make a covenant together, and it shall be a testimony between me and thee. If thou shalt afflict my daughters, or shalt take other wives besides my daughters, even God shall be a witness between me and thee in this manner. Verse 52. And they took stones and made a heap. And Laban said, this heap is a witness between me and thee. Therefore he called the name thereof Gilead. Verse 53, you see he made a covenant with his father-in-law on this, all right, which was his uncle, okay. And Jacob and Laban offered sacrifices upon the mount, and they ate there by the heap, and they tarried in the mount all night. And Laban rose up early in the morning and wept and with his daughters, and he kissed them, and he returned unto his place. Verse 54. And he hastened and sent off his son Borah, who was 17 years old, with Abikuah, the son of Urs. All right. Now we are getting in. What I see here is we're switching from Jacob and Laban. Now we're switching to Esau's family, starting at 54. And he hastened and sent off his son Beer, who was 17 years old, with Abijah, the son of Urs, the son of Nahad, with them were 10 men. And they hastened and went and passed on the road before Jacob. And they came by another road to the land of Seir. And they came unto Esau and said unto him, thus said thy brother and relative, thy mother's brother Laban, the son of Bethuel, saying, 57, verse 57, hast thou heard what Jacob thy brother has done unto me, who first came to me naked and bare, and I went to meet him and brought him to my house with honor, and I made him great, and I gave him my 2 daughters for wives, and also 2 of my maids. Verse 58, and God blessed him on my account. Oh, wow. You see what he's doing? He's twisting this around. And God blessed him on my account, and he increased abundantly and had sons, daughters, and maid servants. He has also an immense stock of flocks and herds, camels and asses, also silver and gold in abundance. And when he saw that his wealth increased, he left me while I to shear my sheep. And he rose up and fled in secrecy. Verse 60, and he lifted his wives and children upon camels, and he led away all his cattle and property, which he acquired in my land. And he lifted up all his countenance to go to his father Isaac to the land of Canaan. Verse 61 of the book of Jasher, the book of Jasher. And he did not suffer me to kiss my daughters and their children, and he led my daughters as captives taken by the sword, and he also stole my gods, and he fled. Yeah, that's what I was getting to say about this mirror. That's idolatry right there. Yeah, he had to get away, as well as the kids too, the children. Everybody had to get away. All right. Verse 62, and now I have left him in the mountain of the brook of Jabbok, him and all belonging to him, he lacketh nothing. Verse 63, if it be thy wish to go to him, go then, and there wilt thou find him, and thou canst do unto him as thy soul desireth. And Laban's messengers came and told Esau all these things. And Esau heard all the words of Laban's messengers, and his anger was greatly kindled against Jacob, and he remembered his hatred. He's never forgetting all of that. And his anger burned within him. Verse 65. Verse 65. We're almost done. Almost done with 10 minutes, 12 minutes left. And Esau hastened and took his children and servants and thy souls of his household, being 60 men, and he went and assembled all the children of Seir, the Horite, and their people, being 340 men, and took all the number of 400 men with drawn swords, and he went unto Jacob to smite him. Verse 66, and Esau divided this number unto several parts, and he took the 70 men of his children and servants, and thy souls of his household as one head, and gave them in care of Ephas, his eldest son. Verse 67, and the remaining heads he gave to care of his 6 sons of Seir, the Horite, and he placed every man over his generation and children. Verse 68, and the whole of his camp went as it was, and Esau went among them toward Jacob, and he conducted them with speed. Verse 69, and Laban's messenger departed from Esau and went to the land of Canaan, and they came to the house of Rebekah, the mother of Jacob and Esau. Verse 70, and they told her, saying, behold, the son of Esau has gone against his brother Jacob with 400 men, for he heard that he was coming, and he is gone to make war with him, and to smite him, and to take all that he has. Verse 71, and Rebekah hastened and sent 72 men from the servants of Isaac to meet Jacob on the road, for she said, peradventure Esau may make war in the road when he meets him. Verse 72, and these messengers went on the road to meet Jacob, and they went and they met him in the road of the brook on the opposite side of the brook JEWEDuP. And Jacob said, when he saw them, this camp is distinct to me from the Most High. And Jacob called the name of the place Macnaiman. Y'all got to forgive me on this. I'm doing the best I can on these names. Verse 73, and Jacob knew all his father's people, and he kissed them and embraced them, and came with them. And Jacob asked them concerning his father and mother, and they said they were well. Verse 74, and these messengers said unto Jacob, Rebekah thy mother has sent us to thee, saying, I have heard, my son, that thy brother Esau had gone forth against thee on the road with men from the children of Seir and Seir the Horite. Verse 75, and therefore, my son, hearken to my voice and see with thy counsel what thou wilt do. And when he cometh unto thee, supplicate him, and do not speak rashly to him, and give him a present from what thou possessest, and from what the Most High has favored thee with. Verse 76, and when he asked thee concerning thy affairs, conceal nothing from him. Perhaps he may turn from his anger against thee, and thou wilt thereby save thy soul, thou and all belonging to thee, for it is thy duty to honor him, for he is thy elder brother. Verse 77 and last of the chapter. And when Jacob heard the words of his mother, which the messengers had spoken to him, Jacob lifted up his voice and wept bitterly, and did as his mother then commanded him. Thank you, the Most High, for reading your word. Thank you for the revelation that we're getting. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for the revelation truth into the knowledge of your word. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, we will pick back up on the book of Jasher, chapter 32, next Sunday. I believe we're going to go ahead and do it at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time again, right here on Sunday on Blog Talk Radio. We will go into the book of Jasher, chapter 32, the continuation of Esau and Jacob. Well, we're going to go ahead on and wind it down now, and let me be back in about 3 minutes, and I got an announcement to make real quick right after this.
Read it. Verse 12. Amos chapter 8, verse 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea.
And they shall wander from sea to sea. That means you're going from this place to this place. Well, let me go over here. Oh, Islam, I don't like that. Well, let me go over to the Christian church. I don't know. Well, maybe let me go into Hinduism. Well, I don't know. I don't like this church because this preacher said this. I don't like this church because this preacher said that. Let me tell you, if you were in the Word, it wouldn't matter what the preacher would say. If you was in the Word, you'll be able to see over what he's teaching. But you're going from sea to sea, all over the place. Read.
Amos chapter 8, verse 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east.
Okay.
They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Most High, and shall not find it.
You're going to wish one day you was able to sit in your cushy house and cut on your computer and see the word of the Most High. You're going to long for that time. You're going to wish you had that opportunity. Soon reading the Bible is going to be against the law of the earth. Soon. They're moving everyone into a new age movement. And the only thing you can believe in is yourself. Is yourself. And you are being programmed. That's going to be the belief system. Yourself. That's the new age movement. How grim and dark the government of this earth is. That all of them are in league and are in bed with Satan. That's the truth. Not one of them are with the Most High. Why? Because this kingdom was given into the hand of Satan. Job 9 and 24 tells you the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. So in order for you to rule in this government, you must go to Satan to get your power. He tried to offer it to Christ. Christ denied it. But who took it? All the governments in this earth who will soon pay. They live lavishly in this earth off the bones, blood, sweat, and tears of the children of Israel. Yes, but now they have to pay. It's time. All these wars in the earth are culminating. They're leading to their own demise. And where does this people with no weapon? This is our weapon. The only thing we have is this, Christ, in the name of the Most High, and we'll win.
It's the Gathering of Christ Church. You can find them at www.gatheringofchrist.org. For more information on the Hebrew Academy, you can send them an email to gatheringas1, that's the number 1, at AOL.com. Also, the Gathering of Christ Church is here at Blog Talk Radio. In your search, just go ahead and punch in Gathering of Christ Church or Gathering of Christ Talk Radio or GOCC. It'll come up, I guarantee you. They're here mostly 5 nights a week. Check things out. But before I ended it, I wanted to let you all know that be cautious, because we're living in periled times now. And I want y'all to raise your flags up to yellow alert, because things that are going on in the earth today, especially in this country, are popping off right now. So, be aware, stay prayed up, watch and pray. Now's the time to go on a fast so we can fine-tune our spirit to find out what the Most High wants us to do according to the scriptures. Everything that we do right here, we're not doing this out of head knowledge. We're doing it because we want to be in tune to the Holy Spirit for us to have knowledge and truth. It ain't a time to play around right now. Too much is going on. In about 1 hour and 2 minutes in the state of Mississippi, this new gunslinger law is going into effect. There's a reason for that, and it's not to protect you. So be aware. We are in tribulation. We are in the end time. So I just want y'all to be cautious, listening up to the knowledge. The children of Israel are waking up. And I played that particular song by the Garden of Christ to just remind you, remind you that the times that we are in, all these new laws that's going on, affirmative action laws by the Supreme Court, as well as now. Remember Sodom and Gomorrah. Those things are now here. Babylon is going all the way Babylon, 100%. Same-sex marriages. It's getting ready. You can see it. You can really see it. No longer does this country follow biblical laws. So I'm going to leave you now. Enough said about that. We'll be back on the air. Look out for, it's subject to change, but we'll be back on the air Sunday. And for those of you all who are listening to Blog Talk Radio or get notifications from us, we'll let you know when we're on the air before Sunday. So until next time, I greet you in love. Shalom to everyone, and we will go ahead and send it out and listen to a little bit of Richard Shepherd. Shalom, everybody. We'll see you again.
I was lost, but now I'm